VOD split, let's go. What am I going to present to prove that he's being a complete asshole? What here lines up with that? I mean, yeah, we know it was him.
Objection!
You were never intending to protect her in the first place. So, let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods? That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. It's an outrage. It is an outrage. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement. But leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. Oh my fucking god, you're gonna kill him. You never had good intentions. Only lies to protect yourself while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Please don't be Hugh. Okay, good.
Why, you little... You dare call my teachings and methods lies?
Oh my god.
Themis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Huh? Professor Means? What's with your hair?
Quiet! No talking in class! Ow!
Homeroom, October 26th.
Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes.
Huh? Here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. Here.
Fool! The proper response is here without any extraneous information. Ouch! Here! Next, Your Honor. Here! See, class? That's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said Simon Blackwell. Are you here or not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well, then I'll just mark you absent. Now, get out of my class this instant.
Get out? Very well, if that is what you wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher? Alright, see you, Simon.
Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. But is that really so shocking? Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session.
Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomach ache? Main point, Juniper is the killer. I am innocent.
Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
Oh hey, you asked for evidence. Cool. Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time?
Can you prove that I was still at school?
No, I can't. Yes, I can. I have it right here.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty.
I was thinking he was going to say gold star, and I started saying it.
But you have also earned yourself a lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Oh, I do enough of that at the office. Is it Robin? Is it Hugh? It's Robin, let's go.
No way, man! I totally object!
Robin? I can't believe I fell for the professor's silver-tongued lies.
Why, how dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. Now, I have a confession to make. You know those 2 statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. The statues on stage? Do I want to know where this headed? I was able to finish off one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So, I asked Professor Means to make it for me. Oh, wow. In other words, the professor was there on stage after the last bell? Right. And it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished. Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony. Professor told me, I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I'd made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin.
Quick! Somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight! Simon! You're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something!
Claude, hell yeah. Got his ass.
And who's in charge of the class pet out around here? Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Gah! Nurse! Where's a school nurse when you need one? Would seem Science seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, it would do well to draw on your staff, quick as lightning. Very well, and I'll just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served, old school style.
Okay, what is that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please.
Your testimony, please.
Look at this guy. Look at that mohawk. His work of art. Did the thing get updated? No, it's still him. Also, actually, hold on a second. Oh, where did that crack show up on his face? Also, his eyeshadow flipped from the top of his eyes to the bottom of his eyes. That's very funny.
Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the 2 statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I possibly have had the time to go to the art room and commit murder?
You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues?
Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now.
Stutter. Hey gamer, what's up, Chili? Ah ha! Covered with a white sheet. All right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. Twice as long. So, personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. That didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Well, I guess I'll press this first. I need to extract the white cloth first. It was draped over both of them. Maybe our client only thought she saw the statues.
Silence!
Pity for you, but we have already confirmed it with the accused. She is on record as having seen both statues.
Yeah, that's true. Just thought I'd give it a shot.
I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It is absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place, along with all who believed in you.
Is there no way to get to this guy?
You'd better pay attention. Pay very close attention.
Damn it. I need testimony. I need something that shows that it was a cloth draped over it. I guess I'll just keep pressing. Why are you in such a hurry?
In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. That's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Not on your life, Buster.
No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until the truth comes out.
Be careful, Athena. If you don't have anything, probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you find something to nail him with. But... When will you cease this nonsense? I'm quite busy today, as I was the night of the crime.
Okay, fine. You're telling me to press everything until he has something else to say to me.
Hold it!
Yeah, but you could have taken a short break or something.
Preposterous! I didn't even have 10 minutes to spare. Not even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. Let me ask you, Your Honor, do you find anything wrong with my claim? So far, it appears that your statue making was quite a difficult chore. And I see nothing that could overturn your claim that you never left the stage.
But the art room is only a few steps away. What's the plan? All I can think of is pressing him like crazy. Hey, look at that, I'm pressing him like crazy. That's all I can think of too. We'll just have to seek out a hole to exploit.
Hold it!
Miss Newman took over half a day. Can you please be a little more precise than that?
What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see. Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening. Well, it is a rather large statue after all. Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher.
Hold it!
Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean?
Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it.
I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you?
Why, you insolent little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. Oh, quiet you. Now do you understand? I did not leave the stage until I was done. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Not leave the stage until he was done. This statue and this statue still haven't been used. There's quite a ways to go. I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. That's right. What took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not gonna give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to? Yeah. I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit the murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. Who brought the bird to school? Sykes Dono, I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber. I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time. The only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait. That's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the... It has to be the crime scene. But I'm also gonna, save scum just so I keep my 2 bars. My first overwrite. Professor Means was on the stage the entire time. Then he must be the killer. Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sykes Dono. Okay, the murder was actually committed here. I mean, it has to be the stage. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. Silly girl! When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage? Really? There was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained.
Take that!
It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this. This school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. My, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire? It makes more sense than not. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
There was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner. Then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. And what soaked up the most of the victim's blood? It was the governor's banner.
Take that!
Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the governor's banner that had been specially made for this school concert. Wow. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood, like a dishcloth, and only a small amount would be soaked through to the school banner below. So, it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The governor's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality.
Simon, don't just stand there, do something!
Silence!
Sykes Dono, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. How will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on stage as you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was the piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood to the art room.
Take that!
To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer, seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked governor's banner to the art room. Then, the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there! The body must have been moved. How else do you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it?
Oh hey, it's time. I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot on the school banner shows something was carried along with the wire. If that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statue was...
Take that!
No! That statue?
Yes, I believe this was the statue. I believe it was a statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it when she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence!
Perhaps you are onto something.
But why, pray tell,
Would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming!
You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to... Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done.
Yeah?
You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says, and says what he means by all means.
Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So, answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time?
That can be explained by,
If the victim was murdered on stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And, of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage.
Oh, there was.
This is not good, Athena.
Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp.
I know. You've come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be.
Just wait a minute. The double sweat.
Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco?
That's aside the point right now, dude.
Oh, just for show. You take that back. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer.
Lawyer. Oh no, why am I breaking down? I've been muted for a while, haven't I? Shit. Yeah. And I was doing such a convincing panic as well. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Athena. Breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, this is how it ends. Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would.
Junie objection? Robin objection? You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me!
It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. She saved the friendship between Hugh, a Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. You didn't officially accuse him. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come this far is... It's not over yet, Thena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie. I know you better than most people, Thena. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie. But I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleeding this instant. You look another fool.
Prosecutor Blackwell?
There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers, for whom the ends justify the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But, Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's a truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now, let me see you smile. Remember what Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepared for your utter defeat. Yo, logic dive. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where the body was found. Her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along the lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it could be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could remove the body from its hiding place was during the mock trial. It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically during the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady statue in the skull banner and sent it zipping down to the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. Was there anything to hide a body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to have been someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Yeah, just spell it out for us. Something used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. That way, no one would suspect there was a hidden body inside. What was already on the stage and capable of concealing a body? The Wright statue. I know. The Mr. Wright statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Brain blast. Miss Newman gave up on the Wright statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work. The murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Wright. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? I second that what?
Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Wright. I'm going to pose like the statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth?
I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice.
Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor.
It's blue!
All right, I think that about does it. Oh, it's pink. Wait, why is it pink? Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look like a statue of Mr. Wright or what? Looks like some random person to me. Aren't the statues a pair of busts? Mr. Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Oh, forget the hair. The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it. The hands. Oh right, yeah. We've never brought this up. This is completely forgotten. The marks on her wrists indicated she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No! Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Behind my head. Apollo, tie both my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make an objection pose like this. I can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What did the victim's body have that I don't? Ah.
Take that!
Oh, right! There was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. Are you crazy? Fine, then go get some duct tape. Rapido, snel! All right. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from two hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now, cover me with that cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay?
It looks just like him!
Mommy, the arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. Our arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use for the arm?
Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you. If only for your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now. Yeah. Now, disappoint me again and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Thanks. I guess I better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she was stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please, and be in this photo. It just has to be. Arm on the Mr. Wright statue is really this right here. Got it! I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Wright.
This is absurd! There's no such thing in this photo.
Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there.
Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior.
Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
Oh my god, look at that. So, how do I look? It's Phoenix Wright! Look, it's that famous lawyer! That's definitely him. I know that pose anywhere. We did it! Didn't we? Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? He's in the stands. Don't call him legendary while he's here. That's so embarrassing. The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light.
Golden light? All I see before me is the pink specter of a man.
That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink.
Ah, that joke deserves a pink slip. Ugh. It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? The resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is... to see if it's a staff or spear. Test the spear for blood. We'd assume the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcefully shoved in. But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on
it. Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it?
What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict?
If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Bathroom detail. Retake the exam. 30% salary cut. You're not a detective. Where did everybody get all these chalk pieces and rocks? Oh no, he's writing the Governor symbol. Oh, there goes his teeth. Wow, what a calm and subdued breakdown.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means? It is as Sykes-Stoner suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He is admitted to his heinous crime. All of it. To this heinous crime. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there.
Great, he'll teach felons that the ends justify the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was?
I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth.
One of the Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too?
I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out, Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing, right there on stage. The result? The heinous crime that was brought before this court. A fool like Newman had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script, and thus frame the defendant.
That scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner.
Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating the top of their class.
Really? So then...
Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him.
I'm very impressed. If it was awarded to people who graduated at the top of their class, they're professors now. He's 45. How many pages do these planners have?
This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constance Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. This is the dark age of the law, and we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, not guilty!
Oh, there we go. Congratulations on your confetti.
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain.
That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
Yeah, victory music. Thank you, Thena. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that.
I don't know. You look pretty wound up there in the end.
Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Thena when she was in a bind, and at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person.
Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me.
But I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait to see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why, until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So, what's the big news? The school festival. It was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but
We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow.
really? All right.
One extra day. Anime.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the Guitar Serenade.
Oh, it's Achtun, okay. Not Achang.
Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Ah, your singing voice, Juniper, could melt my heart.
Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. And just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there.
I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and Hugh won? Alright, time to confess to Robin. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen?
Juniper, there's been something I've been wanting to say to you.
Huh? Is he gonna do what I think he is?
Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been.
Huh? Best friends? Hugh, aren't you going to profess your love to Juniper if you won the mock trial?
No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius, and I'm really 25 years old. And you've already dragged it out of me during the trial.
Whoops. Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin. Miriam. Miriam's here too? Hell yeah, you finally went and said it. Me too?
Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science.
Tactical espionage. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship.
You bet! And what about your BFF, Apollo?
Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in office. New girl in the office.
Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So, what kind of guy is he anyway?
Well, if I had to describe him in one word.
And so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind? End. Man, as soon as Aristotle was going on about, oh, hey, yeah, the end justifies the means, it was the closest thing that you could have to having the murderer be in the opening cutscene. But oh well, the case is over. See you for the next one in episode 4.